Recorded live at the V3 TV studio in sunny England, it's the Vaughn Joseph Show.
All the ugly people be quiet. But before we get this party started right, hey Cash, tell the people what you're the king of.
Welcome to the show, guys. Hey, it's been a while. It's Vaughn Joseph here, coming at you live and direct from Marin Strange Studios. I've got special guests with me today, Mr. Jason D, JD, or I don't want to give out his whole name. I don't know if he's still in witness protection program or not, or what's going on over there, but thank you for sitting in with me today. So, yeah, I mean, people have been getting away with stuff for a long time, so I figured, you know, it's time to come back on the show and start checking these people, because people have been just doing stuff and nobody's saying anything about it. So hope you had a happy holiday season. 2016 is almost over. Halloween's over. The clown scare is seemingly over. People aren't jumping out of bushes. It's chilled out a little bit. Thanksgiving, if you're American, is over. I just got back from the States, celebrated a little Turkey Day, even though I don't eat meat. And before you know it, it will be Christmas, Eid, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa time. All that's all right around the corner. So Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or whatever you want to call it. So time to brush off the tree, brush off Santa Claus hat, or if you're like me, just wear the old duster. Doesn't matter what time of the year it is. That's what's going on. So, yeah, so I'm just going to do a quick review of what's been going on in the year. We're going to have a little recap and see where we are with 2016.
I like that recap.
Yeah. Recap time. 2016, it's been a crazy year. There's been all kinds of stuff going on. Like I said, people have been getting away with stuff and not being checked. Well, it's time to cash some checks, because I'm checking all y'all asses coming 2017. No more passes. So what have we seen in 2016? We've had North Korea. They stated they successfully tested a thermonuclear weapon. War games, anybody? Crazy stuff. Star Wars, The Force Awakens breaks box office records, passing the 760.5 million taken by Avatar, which I've never seen, and I haven't on DVD, never even seen it.
Just say that figure one more time.
760.5 million.
Wow.
So that's $750 million that they took in. They took in for that film.
Incredible.
Yeah, so I just heard yesterday that Disney bought the rights to produce the Star Wars films for something like $6 billion or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right, being Disney. That sounds just about right.
Insane. Wow. So
could you imagine if they buy the rights for £6 billion and the money they're going to make off it?
That's
forecasted
the thing. That's the
to
thing.
make from it.
That's
incredible stuff we're talking about.
Yeah,
huge numbers.
Big time. El Chapo. We caught El Chapo. Well, Mexico caught El Chapo. We didn't catch El Chapo. But so he was on the loose in 2016. They brought him back to justice. I don't know if you remember Donald Trump was saying that he was going to do something, and Sean Penn ended up interviewing El Chapo and ended up getting in trouble for doing that. So I think it was a Rolling Stone article that he did for them. So, but anyway, who cares?
And why did he get in trouble? Because he asked the right questions. That's why he got in trouble. I mean, Sean Penn always poking, always probing, always trying to get right down to the nitty gritty.
Good for him.
Good stuff.
For him. Zika virus. Zika virus came out in 2016. Harambe the gorilla. Y'all forgot about Harambe, didn't you? They started killing black folks and black animals. They killed the gorilla. Then they killed an alligator. Did they kill the alligator in Disney? I don't remember.
Don't think they did.
I don't
kill
know if
the
they
alligator.
caught him or not.
Exactly. The alligator is still at large.
He's at large.
In the swamps in Florida.
He's on the loose.
But the gorilla is definitely dead. And that was a needless death.
Yeah,
Let's
absolutely.
just come to the crunch.
Absolutely.
That was a needless death.
Absolutely.
In fact, if you look closely in the pictures, that massive gorilla was actually protecting the little boy. So that's terrible stuff right there.
Yeah, that was a bit crazy.
Another needless death.
Needless death. So Harambe is as dead as fried chicken. The
Julius Caesar.
The Denver Broncos won the Super Bowl, and who cares, right? Peyton Manning retired, and Maria Sharapova was found guilty and failed her drug test for something that she didn't pass for the Australian Open. Shame on her.
Well, let's just stay with that for 1 second.
There you go.
She was cheating for all these years, and she still couldn't beat Serena Williams.
No.
So that's saying a lot right there. That's saying a lot.
Well, she claims that what she was taking really wasn't for any sort of performance enhancement. It was for allergies or some
and
crap
she had
like
no
that.
idea. Even the WADA sends her emails every single week about banned substances. She had no idea.
No.
She claims.
She had no idea.
I personally think she should have faced a longer ban, but to get what she got,
Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
a bit light. Slap on the wrist time, I think.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with her performance when she makes her comeback. When she makes her little comeback. So
Time will tell.
yeah. What else happened in 2016? Manny Pacquiao. You know Manny Pacquiao, the one that got his ass whooped by Floyd Mayweather, the one that was doing steroids. That Manny Pacquiao. He got dropped by Nike after saying that gay people are worse than animals.
Yep.
What kind of an idiot says that?
Like yesterday's garbage, just dropped him just like that. But I mean, how could you make that kind of statement? I mean, he's a politician back in his native Philippines as well.
Yeah.
And to actually say that on live TV, it just beggars belief. It really does. That was a massive surprise. And I think his sponsors were perfectly within their rights.
Yeah, you would have to
really,
expect that he was gonna get dumped. Like,
I mean, how could he? I think my biggest surprise on shock with that is that more sponsors didn't kick him by the wayside.
Yeah.
That's a real shock for me.
He brings in a lot of money.
He really does.
He brings in a lot of money.
Really
So people are probably like, all right, we'll just kind of pretend like we didn't hear that and
exactly.
keep on bringing that in that money. So Apple battles the FBI over unlocking a suspected terrorist iPhone. And strangely enough, I don't even know if I should be saying this on the show, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm going to say it. So they hadn't been able to get into this guy's phone. They were trying to figure out ways to get into this guy's phone because Apple flat out refused to help them. And as we were speaking before the show, I used to work for Apple. And when people would come to the store, and a lot of times they would put their iPads on the table and say, it's blah, blah, blah. I would say, I bet you I can figure out your unlock code from your iPad. And they're like, how are you going to do that? The thing of it is with these iPads, mostly specifically iPads, more so than iPhones, but it depends on the person, how dirty they are, I guess. They tend not to clean the screen. So if you look at it from an angle, you can see where most of the touching
good point. Yeah,
is.
good point.
Like it's always the swipe on the bottom, and the touching is in the field where the 9 buttons are. So I would be able to unlock people's iPads maybe 5 out of 10 times. You can guess
That's a pretty good ratio.
The pattern of the numbers. There's only so many in that string. So I decided to call the FBI because they couldn't get into this guy's phone. And I emailed them actually. They have a tip line. And I said, I know you guys are struggling to get this in. I used to work for Apple. This is how I used to get it. I don't know if you guys have cleaned the guy's phone or not. Blah, 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 blah.
Wasn't that excessive, though, calling the FBI to get into some guy's phone? That's a bit...
I'm trying to help him out. I'm doing my civic duty as an American
over and beyond the
to help out. This terrorist guy could have all kinds of shit in his phone.
Sure.
Who knows who's going to get blown up next?
Exactly. Yeah,
I
that's a
could
good
be
point.
saving the day. 3 days later, they got into his phone after I sent it to email. So maybe they followed what I said to try and do.
Yep.
Maybe they didn't, and they just got into it. I don't know. FBI, you're welcome. And some fool in 2016 paid $35,000 for a lock of John Lennon's hair at auction this past year.
Yes, indeed.
Waste of money, in my opinion.
Not if you're a John Lennon fan. I think he must have been a serious John Lennon fan.
What are you going to do with a lock of hair?
$35,000
For a lock.
I mean...
That could have been anybody's hair. How can you prove that it was Lennon's hair?
Good point. But I'm sure these people, through blood samples, through the technology you have at our disposal nowadays, they could easily kind of check the authenticity and the provenance of his hair. But that's a smart move. Because think about it. In 20 years' time, how much is that lock of hair going to be worth in 20 years' time?
Less money than it is now.
I'm sure locks of hair appreciate nowadays. It's not driving around. That's not driving away from the car lot with a brand new Mercedes Benz. It's going to appreciate. It's going to go up in value.
No, it isn't. I disagree.
Or at least I'm sure he's thinking that.
I disagree, and I'll tell you why I disagree. Simply because, and I say the same thing with this Beatles catalog.
which cost billions, by the way.
Well,
billions.
Yeah, they got it on. They got it on the cheap because they hustled it. Anyway, that's a
did.
whole nother
Yeah,
show.
that really is.
That's a whole
That
nother
really
show.
is, yeah.
So, the younger generation went nuts when Paul McCartney did a music video with Kanye West, and they're like, "This Paul McCartney guy is going to have a bright future because he did a song with Kanye
This guy's
West.
going places.
He's
This guy's
going
going
places."
places. Yeah.
They didn't even know who he was, right?
Mama, who?
Right. Now, so when we die, us late 30-year-old dudes.
Speak for yourself.
Because we're old. He's like 50. So when we die, the younger generation doesn't give a shit about the Beatles. They don't even know who the Beatles were. That Beatlemania stuff from the 60s is long gone.
Yeah,
That's,
so 1982.
that's history, right? So I don't think that the hair is going to be worth more because the people that are going to be around to be able to buy it aren't going to give two shakes of a rat's butt.
I think it's going to be a massive investment for him. £35,000. John Lennon's here. If they can prove the providence, which they obviously can, that is going to seriously, in my opinion, go up in value.
To
And I'm
who?
sure that's what
Who's going to buy
has his
it, though?
bets on.
Who's going to buy
I mean,
it?
if you wait, 20, 25 years, I mean, obviously the fact that he's been dead. When did he die, John Lennon? I think he died in 1980. So,
but who's going to buy it, though?
that was already kind of like 37 years ago almost. So if
Right.
you wait another 20 years or whatever,
the people
or 30
that
years
appreciate
even,
that
or
are
if you
gonna
pass that
be
lock of hair down
gone.
from generation to generation,
They're gonna be
that's the money right
They're
there.
gonna be
That's the money right there.
gone. No one's gonna
You know?
care. It's like Elvis. No one cares about Elvis in 20 years. No one's going to Graceland except for country people that wear hats like this.
The king's alive. He's alive.
Yeah, no, I disagree. So 2016, President Obama becomes the first U.S. president to visit Cuba. Cuba since 1928. And speaking of Cuba, Fidel Castro just died. So that also happened in 2016. The Panama Papers.
A lot of people have died in 2016.
Well, yeah, quite a few,
Wow,
obviously.
it's been
but
quite a few.
relative to that piece, Castro died. Panama Papers. If you don't know what Panama Papers are, look that up. That's a whole nother show again. Conspiracies or cock-ups. France passes legislation to make it illegal to pay for sex. Now, so if you've been watching my show, you know how I feel about paying for sex. There's socially awkward people out there. There's people that want to have sex. There's people that want to have sex that have the stuff that's needed for sex.
Oh, yeah.
Let them come together and work out a business deal. Who is the government to say that you can't sell something that belongs to you?
I mean, but it goes beyond that, though, because, I mean, how can they even enforce that? How can they enforce that? How can they police that?
That's where you have the traps and the
I mean,
stings and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But they're just wasting money, in my opinion, on something that shouldn't even be
it's-
regulated. Why are we regulating that?
It's gonna be impossible to police, in my opinion.
Why are they
how
regulating
can they
that?
put tabs and keep tabs on that? I mean, there's a massive market for it. It's
Yeah.
as old as the hills,
Yeah,
that
that's-
trade or
that's stupid.
profession.
It's just stupid.
And to keep tabs and to try and police it, that's going to be near on impossible, in my opinion. So
Do
good
it.
luck with that, France.
Do it like
Good luck with
marijuana.
that.
Make it legal and just regulate it and tax the shit out of it. And then they can get some money, and then women can hustle that yogurt box, and then guys can have sex and whatever. And everybody's happy. Everyone's happy. Everybody's getting something, something out of the deal. The UK, we voted here. Yeah, we're in England, by the way. Two black American guys sitting over here in England. Where you're from? Canada.
I'm from Canada.
He's Canadian.
I'm actually Canadian.
See, he's North
Even
American.
more of a rarity.
He's North American. So he's from up there from where my sister is from. She's from Toronto. Where are you from in Canada?
Just outside Toronto. A place called Mississauga, Ontario, baby. Mississauga, Ontario.
See?
Ooh, yeah.
Canadian. I didn't think I've ever met a black Canadian guy before.
There you go. We
Crazy.
exist.
Crazy. So the UK voted to leave the EU. That's a big thing for this year. That's been massive.
It's been incredible, and who would have thought? Well, I think right now politics are so topsy-turvy. The UK votes to leave the EU. The Americans vote in Donald Trump as president. It's going crazy right now.
There's
It's going
lots
crazy
going
right
on.
now.
There's
And
lots
let me
going
tell you
on.
something as well. Because the UK voted to leave the UK, I thought just on the basis of that, Trump will be the next president. Because how crazy was that? Who expected that to happen? Who foresaw that? Not me, and I'm sure not you.
No.
And judging by the response the next day all over the news outlets and everything else on social media, there's a lot of people who are surprised about that.
yeah.
Incredible
definitely,
stuff.
Definitely.
Incredible stuff.
Definitely.
Politically. And also the first female prime minister of these fine British shores as well. In a long time since Thatcher.
Yeah, Maggie was legit. So a lot of people hated Margaret Thatcher here. But anyway, I digress. Pokemon Go. I still don't know what the hell that was all about. But that happened. That was some stupid phenomenon that took place 2016.
Yeah.
And Fife Dog died. And we were talking about people that died. If you're in the Tribe Called Quest, Fife Dog, that was a big thing for me because I was a big fan of a Tribe Called Quest.
I still am, actually.
Yeah, me too.
Yep,
Me too, actually. So
still going strong as well, Tribe Called Quest.
Well, one last CD they just put out. So French have banned, they were the first country to ban the burkini. Which is a bit nuts to me, but whatever. The Olympics, we had the Summer Olympics in Brazil this year, which was one of like the lowest attended Olympics
exactly,
in a long time.
Exactly. That's because there were no Russians there, I think.
They didn't have any. Oh yeah, and the Russians were banned from the Olympics, and people in Brazil didn't have any money to go.
Exactly. And not only that, but I mean, reading the history on that as well, they torn down so many favelas, I think it's called, the kind of slums of Brazil, just to make way for the entrance of part of the Olympics.
Right.
And that was incredible, and I actually done some research into that. In fact, that homes and lives were destroyed to make way for an entrance to the Olympics, which when the Olympics goes will be torn down again anyways.
Right.
But these people's houses can't be, well, I say houses, but like kind of like zinc tins, huts, and that's how people are living in Brazil, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But these houses were torn down by the government. Incredible stuff.
Well,
Incredible stuff.
it's all in their eyes for the betterment of something to do with the government, and we have that in the U.S. It's called eminent domain. So the government can say, well, this land would be better suited for a parking lot, so we're gonna buy your stuff out, even if you don't want to, and you've got to go. Yep. So. Donald Trump was grabbing women in the pussy this year, and he was later elected as president of the United States, as you stated earlier.
You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh. But you know what? Let's not judge Donald Trump on what he says. Let's judge Donald Trump on his actions. Time will tell. It's too early to say how he's going to be as the next president. Nobody knows.
No.
All we can do is wait and see.
Speculate.
We shouldn't listen to his rhetoric or his narrative. Nope. All we can do is listen and watch and see what's going to happen. Because in the fullness of time, we will figure out exactly where Donald Trump is going as a president. So time will tell.
He just put like some head of Exxon Mobil as his Secretary of State.
I heard that today.
Oh,
I heard that today. Exactly.
I'm not even going in on that.
Absolutely.
That's three another shows that I can do now. So as soon as this one's over, I might have to pull out the old pad and pen and start writing. The North Dakota pipeline, that took place. That was madness. Apparently they finally decided to stand down. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Lots of unarmed people have been killed by the cops in 2016, furthering the divide and conquer movement. So we'll see what's going on with that later in the year.
It's important to inject a one-word caveat into that. Lots of unarmed black people are being killed in the States this year. Unprecedented.
I'm going to let him say it because I don't want y'all emailing me soon.
You can email me. It's fine. Hit me up. We can talk about it. It's incredible. Unarmed black people
They're gonna be
being killed like dogs on the streets of America in 2016. Incredible scenes.
And some of them are already in custody and subdued and apprehended. And they just shot some little white kid a couple days ago who had 2 knives. And the cops were there, and they actually shot him in the shoulder. They didn't kill him, but if you're unarmed and you're black, they unloading a whole clip in your ass.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly. I think there was a story recently when I think some armed individual commandeered, I can't remember what the situation was, either a shopping mall, and he shot about 5 people dead, and the cops didn't tase him. They didn't strong arm him to the ground. I mean, it was just all done through conversation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They've been able to negotiate.
Nobody got hurt. Exactly.
They did that with those guys that was it called not Standing Rock. The other guys, the white militia group that refused to leave the land, and they all were armed, and nobody got shot.
Armed to the teeth, and nobody got shot. But unarmed black man just erase them like it's incredible.
Those guys at North Dakota, they are hosing them down with water in the middle of winter. How fucked up is that, man?
Yeah, exactly. I can imagine it gets very, very cold.
Them down with water in the middle of winter, and it's like,
I take that
At Thanksgiving time, too. How ironic is that?
Yep. I take the hose, though, to a bullet, like any day of the week. I really would.
Yeah,
Because
well, that
I'm sure
hypothermia and your arms falling
bullets
off
hurt.
and stuff. But either way, none of it's good. So Lamar Jackson, quarterback from Louisville, was voted or won the Heisman Trophy. He's the youngest ever to win the Heisman Trophy. He's 19 years old.
Go Lamar.
19-year-old quarterback. So hopefully good things will happen for him. A lot of the black quarterbacks coming out. And it's scary because they have such high expectations for him, like RG3, and now he's playing at Cleveland, and Cleveland sucks. And you've got this Dak Prescott kid out in Dallas who was absolutely lighting it up down there in Texas, which is great. And anyway, so Google's DeepMind artificial intelligence wins the Go Challenge against Lee Sol Dahl, whoever that is or what that is, 4-1. I thought it was a hockey score at first, and yeah, that's what's going on with it.
Could have been.
So, yeah, speaking of Google Home, man, I'm just going to touch base on this really quick. We only got a few minutes left, actually. Google has got all kinds of artificial intelligence stuff coming out now. Amazon had this thing called the Echo. The Echo's been out for a bit. You can talk to this thing, Alexa or whatever, and you can talk to it, and it'll turn on music in your house, turn on the sprinklers when your girlfriend's son is out there and you don't want him on your lawn. All this amazing stuff.
I've done that before.
Yeah. No. Artificial intelligence is taking over, man. It's taking over. We were talking earlier about people that we've acted with in the past and so on. And I knew this girl, Rachel. She was on Humans, and Humans is a big show. I don't know if you guys have it in the U.S., but it's about these synths, these synthetics, these artificial intelligent beings that have been placed around, and you can buy a synth and they can be your housekeeper basically, and they look after the kids and they go do your shopping and they can do all this stuff and they look like humans. So now
And they want to be humans.
and they want to be
right. Yeah.
and now you've got humans that want to be synths because they're trying to react like them. And some of these synthetic beings have developed consciousness because the guy that's created them has made it so that they can awaken and be and think.
Yeah.
So I also watch Westworld. I don't know if you've seen Westworld or not. If you haven't watched it, you should check it out. It's really good.
No, I haven't
really
seen
good.
Westworld. Who's in that?
A bunch of people that I don't know. So their names. But it's about this location that you can go to, and it's based off a 1960s film or early 70s film.
Okay. Oh, the same name? Or?
Same name.
Okay.
It's the same concept, but it was a film. This is a TV show. And Westworld is developed. Anthony Hopkins is in it.
Oh, right on.
Anthony Hopkins is in it. So he has created this park where you can come, and it's a Western town, and you can interact with all these Western androids of sorts. And say you're walking down this dusty road, and this guy says, hey, help us find this bandit, or there's prostitutes over there. Hey, big boy, you can interact in any of these storylines.
Right
so
on.
you can go and talk to the slut, and that's where your storyline will take you.
Yep,
If
yep.
you can go talk to that guy, and you're out hunting bandits.
Kind
And
of like those choose your own adventure books they had back in the day.
very similar to
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
you can shoot these guys and shoot up the whole town and kill people and stab them and rape them and do all this other stuff. And they can shoot you, but they can't kill you. Right,
That's makes a
it's
change.
a bonus, right?
That makes a change.
Right, so it's kind of like a real life Wild West.
Yeah.
But now some of these creatures, these synthetics, are developing consciousness again, just like humans.
Yeah.
So now they're
Free
coming
will.
out. Right.
Free will.
Really crazy stuff. Thandie Newton's in it.
Oh, right on. Yeah,
yeah.
good old
All
Thandie.
these things are popping
Yeah.
in. She's
Yeah.
really fine. So
yeah.
anyway, I'm looking at all this stuff. And I'm thinking, wow, they're easing us into this whole synthetic thing socially. It's on TV. It's in our homes now. And it's
Exactly.
crazy.
And a lot of the big videos, Beyonce
Yeah.
and kind of Justin Bieber and people of that ilk, if you
Yeah.
see the dancers behind, they're all kind of dressed in this kind of like riot police futuristic gear.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what's going on there, but as you rightfully said, we definitely are being herded into a
Yeah.
certain direction.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, earlier on you talked about AI conquering the world. Well, I think their makers, Google, are actually conquering the world because they've got their tentacles spread so far. It's incredible. I mean, Google this, Google that. The sign-ins are getting increasingly more invasive as well. And Google are just buying everybody up with their AI technology now, and Google Maps and Street View, and it goes on and on. Obviously, emails and everything else, and all their connections.
Yeah.
Google is taking over.
Google,
Let alone AI.
Google.
Google's expanding their tentacles everywhere.
Google has such a bad reputation for privacy, and they're too invasive. Google actually just surpassed Apple as having more money, the most valuable company this year. It's another 2016 thing. Excuse me. So Google is did you ever see the movie? Google reminds me of this, the Samuel L. Jackson film. It was called it's about the spy, the young kid. He turns out to be a spy. I can't think of what it's called. The Huntsman, the Tradesman, the Scheisendrecht. It came out last year. But Google, Samuel L. Jackson plays the head of this software company. And he gives everybody these free SIM cards. So he's like, yeah, free SIM for life. And everybody puts these SIMs in. And you're going to get your SIM for your phone. And they all have these SIMs in. And so he was building this business. And people were, supporting him. And now he hoards all these people in that he wants to save. So he's got all these heads of state, princes, queens, and whatever, and he's telling them what's going to happen. And those that didn't want to play ball, he put them in these cells and yada, yada, yada. So at this point in this film, he pushes this button, activates all these SIM cards, so everybody's free SIMs. Now everyone's got free SIMs for life, and it starts to mess with their brain, and everyone's under control now.
Wow.
So, so it was pretty cool. I wish I could remember the name of the film.
See that happening as well.
So, because people, of course, free SIM, yes, please, I'll take one, right?
Exactly.
So you never know. You never know what's going to happen out there.
Free SIM and also kind of digital TV. Have you seen these commercials bombarding you with, don't forget to turn your TV into digital. Don't forget, it's so important. Now, hey, you know what? It got me thinking. Why is the government on this big, massive push for us all to get digital TV?
Conspiracy or cock up coming up next. That was a big push button topic about the. I know people that are firm believers that you can be seen through your TV. Yeah, firm believers of it.
Sure.
Especially with a lot of these TVs that have cameras. Oh yeah, I keep tape over all my stuff.
And your laptop.
Tape over all that stuff. And ironically, I had sent my laptop into Apple to get a new battery put in. Oh wow! And they shipped it out, and I got it back, and the tape was taken off the eye.
Oh wow!
Why would they even need to be touching that? You know, so they'll probably be like, "Oh, we cleaned the screen." Well, come on. So. Yeah, I hear you about this whole digital thing. I know people that don't even own TVs. They don't watch TV.
It's really scary. It's really scary. And not only that, something just came to my mind as we were speaking. Wouldn't it be a great business venture to, how you, obviously, everyone nowadays owns a computer. Yeah. And you go to, for example, the computer repair shop because it's broken or whatever's wrong with it. The hard drive doesn't work. Yeah. Could you imagine how much information people have stored on their hard drives? So if you could perform a service or provide a service where you're actually cleaning people's hard drives, just completely erasing everything that's on their hard drives, I reckon that's a great business model.
Yeah.
Because people need clean hard drives, and obviously to speed it up, means go faster. Yeah. And people have so much stuff on their hard drives as well. So that'd be a great little business venture to clean hard drives. Yeah. Because there's so many people wanting, I'm sure.
I think there's probably companies out there. I think it's probably expands out into other stuff. So we've been slowly exposed to artificial intelligence for quite a while. It's because we had I don't know if you've probably seen it. The movie Alien, the very first one. Oh, yeah. They had Ash. He was a robot, and they didn't know that until they whacked his head off. He starts talking. And then they had the artificial intelligence going forward in all those films. But now there's such a proliferation of it on TV, and
it really is.
It's in your house now. With the Google Home and the Amazon Alexa Echo or whatever it's called.
Even little simple things that we take for granted, like Siri, for example, on any laptop or computer. That's a massive form of artificial intelligence. And also with that as well, what it comes down to as human beings is laziness. Okay, I'm gonna say it. There it is. I said it. Human beings are lazy. Okay, because me personally. It's so easy for me to type in my Google thing and just say what I want, and it just comes up without me having to fuss with the buttons. Yeah. So I think people are generally lazy.
Convenience.
Exactly. It's all about expediency nowadays. Okay, they want it now, today, now. an hour ago. So I think it's only going to be bigger.
Yeah.
It's only going to get better.
Yeah.
And we, as a species, as human beings, are only going to get lazier.
We don't
as a
even have to
result.
drive our own cars anymore. The cars drive themselves now.
Exactly.
We started off with them parking themselves, and now they drive themselves.
Yeah. Or speed dial on a smaller level. You just say the number and it just dials. You know, I mean, surely that's taking away from our memories as human beings because we just.
Quick,
You know,
what's your wife's phone number? Do you know it?
I do actually know.
Okay,
I do know.
okay. So he's one of those rare guys that actually cares about that kind of stuff. I couldn't tell you anybody's phone number except my mom's number and my number. You know, if I went to jail right now for drunk driving or something, and they said you get your one phone call, I'd be calling myself. Hopefully, I left my phone in your car. So that's all the time we got for today, man.
No
It's
way.
quick and painless.
serious?
Yes, that's it, man.
In a blink, it's gone. It's all over.
People
Wow.
out there are
My
short.
goodness.
The attention span theater. You got to
Just
get
like
them.
that.
You got to get in and get out and get them back on with their lives, or else they start turning you off and going to 5-minute Vine videos or something like that.
Oh, wow.
So thanks for coming in and sitting with me today,
all mine. The time
man.
just zipped by. Where did it go?
Hey, whenever
I
you
want it
wanna-
back again now.
Whenever you want to come back, you always got a seat over there on the other side of the
know.
table, man.
Do it again.
Bring a topic. We can talk conspiracies. We can talk whatever you want to talk. We can talk about how we're being watched through our TVs and our laptops or whatever
Right now,
else.
in fact.
Whatever else. Yeah, oh yeah. As long as we don't say things like, wait, you said Russia earlier, I think. So we've already been pinged and that's been picked up. I didn't say China. What else did I say that I probably shouldn't have said? Zika. I said North Korea. So, oh yeah, we're screwed. This show is definitely already going to have hits and I haven't even launched it yet. So we're in troubles for that one. So, but anyway, thanks for tuning in. We're out of here and we'll see you next time, guys. Peace.
Take care, guys.